The sleek silver starship of the Galactic Council descended through the atmosphere of Earth. As it glided toward the ground, bright lights flickered along its hull. Inside, Ambassador Zarin adjusted his uniform and looked at his reflection in the polished metal. He had traveled across galaxies, but this mission felt different. Earth was a planet he had only heard about in reports, and he was eager to see it for himself. When the ship landed, a loud cheer erupted outside. Zarin stepped out, and the first thing he noticed was the fresh air. It smelled sweet, a mixture of flowers and something he couldn't quite identify. As he looked around, he saw a crowd waiting for him. People of all ages held banners that read, "Welcome, Ambassador," and "Earth awaits." Zarin felt a rush of pride. He was here to represent the powerful Galactic Council, and he expected this visit to go smoothly. The leader of Earth, President Anne Fletcher, stepped forward to greet him. She smiled warmly, extending her hand. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador Zarin. We are honored by your visit." Zarin took her hand and shook it firmly, trying to project confidence. "Thank you, President Fletcher. It is my pleasure to be here." As they walked together through the crowd, Zarin observed the humans closely. He had read about them, their history, their conflicts, and their struggles. He believed humans were fragile beings, easily swayed and controlled. But as he looked into their eyes, he noticed something different. There was a fire there, a determination that made him feel uneasy. He brushed it off, telling himself he was simply misreading the situation. The president led Zarin to a beautiful park filled with vibrant flowers and trees. Children laughed and played, and couples strolled hand in hand. The sight was lovely, but Zarin couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to Earth than this surface beauty. He felt as if he had entered a game where he didn't know the rules. "Here in this park, we celebrate peace and unity," President Fletcher explained. "It symbolizes our hope for the future." Zarin nodded but remained skeptical. Peace was often just an illusion. He had seen galaxies where peace was a mere facade, hiding deeper problems beneath. He wondered if Earth was the same. "I appreciate your commitment to peace, but I must understand more about your defenses," he said carefully. "Defenses?" Fletcher raised an eyebrow. "Why do you need to know about that?" Zarin quickly smiled, trying to smooth over his words. "For cooperation, of course. The Galactic Council values strength in partnerships." As they continued to tour the park, Zarin spotted a group of young people gathering around a small stage. They were sharing stories, singing songs, and creating art. Their joy was infectious, yet Zarin felt a chill. What if these humans turned against the Council? What if their spirit was a hidden threat? Suddenly, a loud noise interrupted his thoughts. A large vehicle zoomed past, displaying the colors of Earth's military. Zarin's heart raced. He had been warned about the humans' military capabilities, but seeing it firsthand made it real. "What was that?" he asked, his voice tense. President Fletcher looked at him, her expression serious. "That's part of our defense. We have to protect our planet from threats, both internal and external." Zarin swallowed hard. This was not the Earth he had imagined. He had thought the humans would be easily manipulated, but now he was beginning to see that they were ready to defend their home fiercely. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the park, Zarin realized he had much to learn about these humans. He had come with a mission, but his heart felt heavy with uncertainty. This visit would not be as simple as he had hoped. Ambassador Zarin stood at the window of his hotel room, gazing out at the sprawling city of New York. The towering buildings sparkled under the bright sun, and the streets were alive with people moving in every direction. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today was his chance to learn more about Earth and its people. After a quick breakfast, Zarin met President Fletcher in the hotel lobby. She was smiling, ready to show him the best of Earth. "Are you ready for your tour, Ambassador?" she asked. "Yes, I am," Zarin replied, straightening his uniform. He hoped this day would help him understand these strange beings better. Little did he know that it would change his view of Earth forever. They stepped into a sleek electric vehicle that glided smoothly through the city. As they drove, Zarin looked out the window in awe. The streets were filled with a mix of cars, bicycles, and pedestrians. People were talking, laughing, and moving with a purpose. He noticed how diverse the population was. People of all shapes, colors, and sizes walked together, sharing the city. Their first stop was a famous art museum. As they entered, Zarin was struck by the beauty of the paintings and sculptures. "This is where we express our thoughts and feelings," Fletcher explained. "Art is important to us. It tells our stories and our history." Zarin watched as humans gazed at the artwork with admiration. He walked up to a painting that showed a battle scene from Earth's past. The colors were vibrant, and the emotion was palpable. He sensed the pain and struggle captured in the strokes. "This is powerful," he said, impressed. "Yes, it is," Fletcher replied. "Art helps us remember our history, both good and bad. It reminds us of what we've overcome." As they continued the tour, Zarin began to see a different side of humanity. They visited a technology center where scientists were developing new ways to use clean energy. Zarin was amazed by their inventions, which included machines that could turn waste into energy. "This is remarkable," he exclaimed. "You have done this on your own?" "Yes, we work hard to solve our problems," Fletcher said proudly. "We believe in finding solutions, not just relying on others." Zarin felt a knot tightening in his stomach. These humans were not helpless. They were innovators. As he watched them work, he realized that they were capable of incredible things. He had come to Earth thinking he could easily manipulate them, but now he began to doubt his mission. Next, they visited a community center where children were learning together. The sight of them playing games and studying filled Zarin with warmth. He noticed how the teachers encouraged creativity and teamwork. "These children are our future," Fletcher said softly. "We want them to grow up strong and wise." Zarin felt a deep sense of respect for these humans. They cared for their young and prepared them for the world. He couldn't help but think of his own species, where strength often came from conquest. Was this compassion a sign of weakness or strength? Their last stop was a large park where a festival was taking place. Music filled the air and food stalls lined the pathways. Humans danced, laughed, and celebrated their culture. Zarin was taken aback by their joy. They invited him to join in, and he found himself smiling for the first time since arriving. "Come, Ambassador, dance with us," a young woman called out. Zarin hesitated, feeling out of place. But Fletcher encouraged him. "It's okay! Just have fun." He stepped forward, joining the dance. The rhythm was infectious, and he couldn't help but move. Laughter surrounded him, and for a moment he felt like he belonged. But as he danced, he couldn't shake the thought that this joy could quickly turn to anger if provoked. As the sun began to set, Zarin looked around at the happy faces and colorful lights. He realized that Earth was not just a planet. It was a living, breathing place filled with passion and spirit. This visit was changing him in ways he didn't understand. He had come to observe and assess, but now he was beginning to feel a connection to these humans. When the day ended, Zarin returned to his hotel room, his mind racing. He had learned so much, yet he felt more confused than ever. The ambassador had expected to find weakness, but he was discovering strength and resilience. What would this mean for his mission? Would the Galactic Council understand the human's true nature? He lay down, staring at the ceiling, knowing tomorrow would bring more challenges and surprises. The next day, Ambassador Zarin felt a sense of anticipation as he entered the grand museum dedicated to Earth's history. The building was impressive, with tall pillars and beautiful sculptures outside. President Fletcher walked beside him, ready to guide him through this important place. "Here, you will learn about who we are and what we have faced," Fletcher said as they stepped inside. Zarin looked around at the exhibits filled with artifacts, paintings, and displays. He had come to Earth thinking humans were simple beings, but he had already seen so much more. Now he was eager to understand their past. As they walked through the museum, Zarin was amazed by the stories he encountered. The first exhibit featured ancient tools used by early humans. They were made from stone and wood, showing how humans learned to survive in a tough world. These tools were essential for hunting and gathering, Fletcher explained. Our ancestors had to be clever to stay alive. Zarin listened closely. He realized that humans had a long history of struggle and survival. They were not just fragile beings, they were resourceful and strong. This discovery made him curious about the challenges they had overcome. They moved to another room that showcased great wars throughout history. Zarin felt a chill run down his spine as he looked at images of battles and conflicts. "These wars shaped our world," Fletcher said quietly. "We fought for freedom, for our rights, and sometimes against each other." Zarin studied a large painting of a famous battle. The colors were dark, and the expressions on the faces of the warriors were filled with pain and anger. "Why do you fight?" he asked, genuinely curious. "Isn't there a better way to solve problems?" Fletcher sighed. "Sometimes we forget our shared humanity. Fear and greed can blind us. But we learn from these mistakes. Every conflict teaches us something." As they continued through the museum, Zarin saw exhibits about peace movements and great leaders who had fought for justice. He learned about humans who stood up against oppression and inspired others to seek change. "These individuals showed courage," Fletcher explained. "They believed in a better future." Zarin began to feel a growing respect for humans. They had faced so much darkness, yet they still sought light. He wondered if the Galactic Council could learn something from their history. Could the Council's powerful ways lead to more suffering? Would their control cause more conflict? In one exhibit, Zarin discovered stories of incredible inventions and discoveries. Humans had created machines that flew, medicines that healed, and technologies that connected people. He was astonished by their creativity. "How can such fragile beings achieve so much?" he mused. Fletcher smiled. "Our spirit drives us. When we work together, we can achieve the impossible. We have a desire to explore and improve our world." Zarin's heart raced. Could he convince the Galactic Council to see humans as partners, not just subjects? The more he learned, the more he realized that underestimating humanity would be a mistake. They were capable of great things, and they had the will to protect their home. As they reached the final exhibit, Zarin stood before a large screen showing images of Earth today, bustling cities, beautiful landscapes, and people of all cultures living together. The screen flickered with messages of peace and unity. "This is our hope," Fletcher said, her voice filled with emotion. "We want a future where everyone can live freely and happily." Zarin felt a lump in his throat. The dreams and aspirations of humans were so powerful. He had expected to find a weak species, but instead, he saw strength, resilience, and hope. The weight of his mission pressed heavily on him. How could he share this newfound understanding with the Galactic Council? As they left the museum, Zarin looked back at the building, feeling a deep connection to what he had learned. The hidden history of Earth had opened his eyes, and he knew he could never see these beings the same way again. They were more than what the Galactic Council had portrayed. They were survivors, dreamers, and fighters. Zarin's mind raced with thoughts and questions. Would he have the courage to share this truth? As he walked alongside President Fletcher, he realized that this was just the beginning of his journey. Tomorrow would bring new discoveries, and he could hardly wait to learn more. The sun rose over New York City, casting a warm glow across the skyline. Ambassador Zarin awoke with a sense of determination. He had learned so much about Earth and its people, but now he needed to take a stand. He wanted to challenge the views of the Galactic Council, but he didn't know how. As he prepared for the day, Zarin thought about his conversations with President Fletcher. She had shared her hopes and dreams for humanity. They were a people who fought for their rights, who learned from their mistakes, and who worked together to make their world better. He realized he could not keep this knowledge to himself. After breakfast, Zarin met with Fletcher at the United Nations building. It was a large, impressive structure filled with representatives from different countries. Today, Zarin would speak not only for himself, but also for humanity. He felt nervous but excited. "Are you ready for your big moment?" Fletcher asked, noticing his anxious expression. "I hope so," Zarin replied, taking a deep breath. "I want to show them the truth about Earth." As they entered the main assembly hall, Zarin felt the weight of the moment. Delegates from around the world were gathered, their voices a blend of languages and cultures. Zarin stepped up to the podium, feeling the eyes of everyone on him. He looked at Fletcher, who nodded in encouragement. "Ladies and gentlemen," Zarin began, his voice steady, "I stand before you as the ambassador of the Galactic Council. But today, I speak not just for them, but for myself. I have witnessed the strength and resilience of humanity." The room fell silent. Zarin continued, "Yesterday, I toured your great city. I saw your history, your struggles, and your achievements. I saw how you care for one another and fight for what is right. It is time for the Galactic Council to rethink its views on Earth." He paused, allowing his words to sink in. The delegates exchanged glances, unsure of what to think. Zarin felt a surge of confidence. "For too long, we have underestimated you. We have viewed you as a lesser species, easily controlled. But you are not weak. You are powerful, creative, and capable of great change. A murmur of surprise ran through the crowd. Zarin pressed on, feeling a fire in his heart. I have seen your art, your technology, and your will to survive. You have fought for freedom and learned from your past. These are qualities that deserve respect. Fletcher smiled, proud of his bravery. Zarin took a step closer to the audience. I challenge the Galactic Council to open its eyes and see the true potential of Earth. We should not seek to control you, but to learn from you. Together we could build a brighter future for all. The hall erupted in applause. Zarin felt a rush of emotion. He had never imagined he would receive such a response. But he knew this was just the beginning. He needed to convince the council that they must change their ways. After the speech, Zarin joined Fletcher and the other delegates in discussions. They talked about partnerships, technology sharing, and how Earth could play a vital role in the galactic community. Zarin was excited. He could see a path forward. But he also knew the council would not easily change its beliefs. Later, as the discussions continued, Zarin's thoughts drifted. What if the council rejected his ideas? What if they decided to act against Earth out of fear? He felt a knot in his stomach. He couldn't let that happen. As night fell, Zarin and Fletcher walked through the city, reflecting on the day's events. The lights of New York sparkled like stars. You did well today, Fletcher said, her voice warm. But we have a long way to go. Yes, Zarin agreed. But I believe we can make a difference. We must unite to show the council that Earth is worth protecting. Suddenly, Zarin stopped. A thought struck him. What if we hold a demonstration? A way for the Galactic Council to see the people of Earth in action? Fletcher looked intrigued. A demonstration? What do you have in mind? Zarin's mind raced with ideas. We could gather people from different cultures, showcasing their traditions, skills, and innovations. Let the council see the true spirit of humanity. Fletcher's eyes lit up. That could work! It would be a bold statement. Zarin smiled, feeling hopeful. They had a plan. Together, they would show the Galactic Council what Earth really was, a place of strength, diversity, and unity. The challenge ahead would not be easy, but Zarin was ready. He would fight for Earth and its people no matter what it took. The day of the demonstration had arrived. Ambassador Zarin stood on the steps of the United Nations building, his heart racing with excitement and nerves. Today, he and President Fletcher would show the Galactic Council what Earth truly represented. The atmosphere was electric, filled with anticipation as people gathered from all around the world. Zarin looked out at the diverse crowd. Men and women of different ages and backgrounds had come together, each ready to share their culture. Colorful banners flew in the wind, and the sounds of laughter and music filled the air. Zarin felt a sense of pride swell within him. This was humanity at its best. Are you ready? Fletcher asked, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Yes, Zarin replied, determination in his voice. Let's show them. As the event began, Zarin stepped forward to address the crowd. Welcome, everyone. Today, we gather to celebrate our differences and show the Galactic Council what it means to be human. Let them see our strength, our creativity, and our unity. The crowd cheered. Zarin felt a rush of energy as he watched dancers perform traditional movements from various cultures. The colors of their costumes dazzled under the sun, and the music filled the air with joy. He could see the pride on their faces, and it made him more convinced than ever that this demonstration was essential. Next, people shared stories of their ancestors and how they overcame challenges. Zarin listened as a young woman spoke about her family's journey to freedom, her voice filled with passion. Each story added depth to the rich tapestry of humanity, revealing the courage and resilience within them. As the day went on, Zarin noticed the reaction from the Galactic Council's representatives who had come to observe. Some were intrigued, leaning in to listen. Others appeared skeptical, crossing their arms as they watched. Zarin felt a pang of concern. Would they truly understand what they were witnessing? The highlight of the event came when a group of engineers demonstrated groundbreaking technology developed on Earth. They showed off machines that cleaned the oceans and systems that generated clean energy. We have ideas that could benefit the galaxy, one engineer said confidently. We want to work together to create a better future. Zarin watched as the council members whispered among themselves. He hoped they were beginning to see that Earth was not just a planet to be controlled. It was a place filled with potential and innovation. This was what he wanted to convey. As the sun began to set, Zarin took the stage once more. Today you have seen the heart of humanity, he said, his voice ringing with conviction. "We are more than what you think. We are dreamers, creators, and fighters for peace. We invite the Galactic Council to stand with us, to learn from us, and to be our partners in progress." The crowd erupted into applause, their cheers echoing through the city. Zaren's heart swelled with hope. He knew this moment could change everything. As the event concluded, Zaren felt a sense of accomplishment. He had spoken from the heart, and now he awaited the council's response. He joined Fletcher and the other delegates, who were buzzing with excitement. "I think you really made an impact today," Fletcher said, beaming. "The council cannot ignore what they've seen." Just then, a member of the Galactic Council approached Zaren. He was tall, with striking features, a look of curiosity in his eyes. "Ambassador Zaren," he began, "your demonstration was unexpected. We did not realize the depth of human spirit." Zaren's heart raced. "You see now that we are more than just a planet with resources?" "Yes," the council member admitted. "Your creativity and resilience are remarkable. We have much to discuss." Zaren felt a wave of relief wash over him. The council was starting to change its views. This was the beginning of a new understanding, a bridge between Earth and the galactic community. As the evening sky darkened, Zaren stood with Fletcher, looking at the stars. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "This is only the start." "Yes," Fletcher replied, her gaze focused on the horizon. "Together we can achieve so much more. The future looks bright." Zaren nodded, feeling a sense of hope. They had opened a door, and now they could work together to build a better tomorrow. The journey ahead would not be easy, but with unity and understanding they would face any challenge. In that moment, Zaren knew he had found his purpose. He would be the voice for Earth, ensuring that the Galactic Council recognized humanity's true worth. Together, they would forge a new path, one of cooperation and shared dreams, where every voice mattered and every story was heard.